that reaching the public is always problematic, or we haven't found the right way. And we had some solutions yesterday, and now as the main topic of this conversation is reaching the public, and this installation is really something, then it's good because some people see it, maybe thousands per half a day or something like that, but it happened for 3 days, and then you will still work as artist and hopefully continue this kind of thinking and creating. So how you can make it more visible and well known?
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about during the installation. That because Júlia is a painter, I am a filmmaker basically, and if she paints something and put it in the museum, the audience has to go into the museum. If I make a film, the audience has to go into the cinema to see it. But it's a very interesting genre, just put on a public place something, and yeah, anyway, people will meet with it. So it's much more directing. And the other, what we wanted to do is this short video, which is a memory video kind of, and also it summarizes what happened, because on the internet maybe we can reach much more people as well. So we tried all the channels what came to our mind. But
does it affect your kind of art you will do in the future? Does it influence it somehow?
Yeah, sure. We already planned with Erika to make it 3 times bigger at the Hero Square. I really want to continue this, and we talk about it to move to this installation to other countries or big art fairs or anywhere. It could be part of the Venetian Biennale also, the Art Biennale. I can imagine that. So.
Yeah, it's so okay. It's so great to be in such a direct contact with the audience. So I never experienced it with.
And I really like that how people was like touching it and interact with this. So I was so like, oh, nice. I was just sitting there all day long, like, nice.
You have started your speech now that as you are a movie maker, people have to go to the theater, to the cinema. So they already interested in moving, otherwise they would go. And usually, and the same with the Pet Cup, I guess, is how you can make people from passive to active. And because everybody went there, they were very happy to see it, and they were saying very positive things. Maybe you were cutting off the things when they wasn't saying positive things. But okay, the question is, when they go home, they will use less plastic or not? They will wash their teeth every day 2 times or just one time, because toothpaste also has a lot of plastic. So that's the question, how you can make them active? Because they are, okay, they're saying it's very beautiful, la la la, we hate plastic, but at the end of the day, they will use the same amount of plastic. So I think that's the triggering point, how you can make them active.
Me personally, I don't believe so much in this way of the solution to convince people use less plastic. I'm a bit skeptic about this way, so I think that the energies should spend on finding the way how to organize the collection of the plastic waste and how to reuse it and how to produce maybe new materials which are not so bad for our nature. But I think raising the awareness by these kind of projects also generates kind of thinking about these solutions. So, yeah.
It just comes to my mind. There's another very good artist, Edwin Piper. Maybe you have heard about her. She had a huge installation in last year in a National Museum in Berlin. And actually there were only 3 counters. and people had to sign contracts. And the contracts are, I don't know, bonding them for the next 100 years. And people went in queues, you know, so they really waited to sign these contracts. And the museum keeps these contracts, so in 100 years, somehow, let's see what's the turnout. But maybe this is also an idea for you to implement the emotions, you know, and make them aware that they are needed in the process, right? So I like the idea, of course, of waste management and using different alternatives for plastics and so on, but to have something you have to sign that you will bring your coffee mug or whatsoever, what is needed in the daily life, to just reduce the consumption of plastic, single-use plastic items mostly, right? So that would maybe also be, beneficial. What would you think of multiplying your idea? I mean, we have heard one idea to bringing it to Venice, and as I said before in a panel, Venice has really a huge problem, right? So they cannot help themselves, so they need solutions from other people, right? There's also the UNESCO behind the project, but let's see, this year didn't work out, so hopefully we can do something next year, and I really like the idea to bring it to Venice. We have also other people interested in going there and help Venice, not only from sinking, but also from going out to the seas and just swim in plastic waste. So what kind of formats you would also think of to adapt your idea, to multiply, to make it bigger? You think it should be much more higher, or just more in every city you would like to have a stop, or?
As a next step, I think it would be nice to see it in a much bigger format and higher as well. And
1 cube higher, and maybe like I don't know, like 6 by 6. It's like if what I realized in this installation, all the channels was too narrow, so I would appreciate to make it a little bit wider, and in a case also the columns could be more like this, with more microphones or sound system like da-da-da-da.
And for instance, at the same location at Madách Square, it would have been much stronger work if you wouldn't have been able to cross the square without walking in the corridors. So, yeah.
So like a barrier, you mean?
Yeah. That's what we wanted originally, but next time.
I also would like the man here in the round. Where do you see your initiatives in the future? So, I mean, you're already grown and you are already reached out to many, many people. But what are your goals for the future?
Well, in a few years' time, I don't want to organize plastic cups. I just want to go fishing and paddling with my small child. Hopefully we can solve the problem and then we can go fishing. But now for the next few years, Ukraine, India and other countries wants to organize other plastic cups, maybe on Po River. We will see. But on other hand, on a professional way, I'm a director of a big association. So now we are establishing a work group on illegal waste, and we are organizing a huge Hungarian conference about awareness raising and environmental education. So now these are much bigger steps on a professional way, and we are working experts and reaching other target groups. So we are like an octopus.
Thanks. I just go back a little to this installation at Madás Square. What I would like to get from your next project, maybe in Venice or in Rijeka, that it should have some messages to the people how they can avoid plastic use. Somehow you can, if you can like somehow get the message there within the labyrinth, I would be very pleased. Like, like not only plastic bags or PET bottles are the problem, like using plastic shirts, and when you wash it, some parts are going on. And I guess in environmental point of view, these tiny particles are much bigger problem than the big ones. Because the big ones, these nice guys can pick up, but the small ones are not that easy to pick up. And to your question, so I don't know which side from where the question was coming. It's a tough question because we are getting more and more on the ground, on the planet. There are more and more trouble. I think the education of the people is the most important part, because if the people are aware what their life is affecting to the earth, they can force the companies to follow them. There is a very nice